Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2015 Audi Allroad. This Allroad is showing just over 55,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll take you on a quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior, as well as showing you some of its more notable features. Now, starting here on the exterior, you'll find it finished in a relatively basic gloss white paint scheme. There's not a whole lot of metallic in this paint to note, and the paint's in relatively nice condition. However, there are some minor swirl marks in the paint just from regular use and very few major scratches or dings, and we'll cover everything that we can see as we walk around the vehicle today. Also worth noting, I love how the white paint scheme contrasts very nicely with the dark gray plastic cladding that carries around each wheel arch and on the lower portion of the doors with that nice silver trim to match. On these Allroads, I do like how that plastic cladding protrudes from the body and makes it just about the widest point of the vehicle, with the exception of the mirror, of course. And of course, if you have any small scuffs or just brush the fender up against something, I'd much rather be replacing or repairing this nice smooth plastic panel as opposed to either a metal fender extension that is, molded into the bodywork, or even a glossy white painted plastic panel. You'll find a little bit of damage here on the rearmost cladding here on the driver's side. However, like I mentioned, this is a much easier job to repair as opposed to a nice painted panel like you see on the doors here. So this is a nice feature for convenience and for a bit of peace of mind if you're taking your vehicle through some relatively rough terrain here in New England winters. But here on the driver's side, let's start by taking a look at the rear wheel. Of course, these wheels are in nice condition. They do have some minor curb rash. They're 18-inch 5-spoke wheels finished in metallic silver. And I also like how those small covers that you'll see on a lot of Audis cover up the lug nuts, keep them a bit protected, and also add a bit of a stylish look to the wheel. Same story here at the front wheel, a bit larger brakes up here at the front, and you do have a little bit more curb rash around the top edge of the wheel, but largely it's in very nice condition. Now, as usual, I'll take you really close to the panel so as to look for any irregularities in the way the light reflects, which would show us any dings, dents, or obvious scratches. As I make my way down to the quarter panel, I haven't noticed anything except maybe a very small ding just there at the beginning of this panel. However, largely it presents very nicely over here on the driver's side. So next up, we'll take a look at the front fascia of the vehicle. You can see the headlights are free of any oxidation, discoloration, or scratching. The lenses look very nice. And I do like the headlight designs as well as the design for the daytime running lights. Kind of a signature Audi look, and it gives it a bit of a stylish flare up here at the front. Also, one of my favorite aspects of the Allroad model in particular are these vertical chrome slats in the grille. Adds a bit more of an executive look up here at the front, and it's got some nice silver trim on the lower portion of the bumper to match. You also have some more of that dark gray plastic cladding, making these nice little chin splitters here on each side, as well as fog lights, which are of course working perfectly. You also have some nice chrome bezels around those fog lights. The bumper itself, very nice condition. However, you do have a couple of very small imperfections down there, and over here on the driver's side it looks very nice. So finally, taking a look over here at the passenger side, starting at the front wheel, same story as the driver's side. You do have some minor curb rash there at the top of the wheel, a little bit on both sides as well. However, relatively minor, and a little bit more wear there on the plastic cladding. Now let's take a look for any dings, dents, or major scratching. As I mentioned, the vehicle does have some basic swirl marks in the paint. But as I make my way back to the end of the panel, I struggle to see any imperfections with the actual bodywork itself. Another couple small imperfections here on the cladding behind the rear passenger door. And you do have a little bit more minor curb rash carrying across the top edge of this wheel and a bit there at the bottom. Finally, here at the rear of the A4 Allroad, taillight lenses, very, very nice condition, passing by those nice chrome Audi rings as you might expect. And the passenger side lens is in great shape as well. On the lower portion of the bumper, you'll find two very, very nice condition chrome exhaust tips, flanking this nice brushed silver diffuser panel. It all looks very nice as opposed to this very Very small ding there in the brushed silver panel. And here on the roof, you'll find the paint to be in nice shape. You also have these nice silver roof racks. Great for utility. You can mount a lot of things to the top of this A4 Allroad, as well as a nice panoramic sunroof, which we'll look at more once we're inside the vehicle. So making our way to the interior, you'll find it spec'd very nicely, and these black leather seats are in very good condition. You can see the outer bolsters are free of any major wear, and the seat bottoms look great as well. Only minor use is evident. You can see there the passenger seat looks almost brand new. Very, very nice condition here. And we'll make our way inside. As I make my way in the vehicle, I pass by this brushed silver Allroad Quattro little door plate there. That's a nice touch. And we'll close the door. Of course, a very nice heavy feel to the door. It gets very quiet here in the interior, as you might expect. Very, very high build quality from Audi. I'll start by firing it up. Now you can choose to use the key as a starter button and put it in the dash, but I'll choose to leave the key in my pocket and just use the engine start button here. As you can see, fires right up without any strange warning lights or issues. Just gonna chime for a couple seconds. And I'll turn down the climate control so we can hear me a bit better. So all of the technology works beautifully here in the Audi. If you see any flashing screens, that's only due to the camera's effect here to the human eye. It looks fantastic and works perfectly. You do have navigation as well as a nice backup camera fitted to this Audi. And I'm controlling this infotainment using this set of controls here in the center console, which are all in stunning condition. All of the buttons have their original text and they're not gummed up or dirty in any way. They work perfectly. And all the buttons have a nice satisfying click as you use them. Really, really nice high quality feel with everything that you touch a lot in this vehicle. Steering wheel's in great condition. You do have this nice leather wrap all the way around the steering wheel and all of the buttons here for your gauge cluster controls there, as well as your media controls on the right. Everything works exactly as intended. One fantastic option fitted to this particular A4 Allroad is the Bang & Olufsen upgraded stereo. As you can see there, the tweeters in the corner of the dashboard are labeled Bang & Olufsen, and the door speakers as well. Now, of course, as we know, having a nice premium sound system is going to greatly increase the driving experience of any vehicle, no matter what its intended purpose. And of course, Bang & Olufsen is one of the best in the game, and they are known for their partnership with Audi, making some fantastic sound systems. You can see here on the dashboard, I do have a nice Quattro badge that, of course, describes the famous all-wheel drive system fitted to this Audi. Fantastic in the winter. And just behind it, some really nice wooden trim that carries onto each door card. You have a bit more piano black accents up here in the center around your climate controls, which all work perfectly. You also have heated seats for each front occupant. Climate vents, air conditioning is blowing ice cold right now. You can see a bit of silver trim surrounding your gauge cluster area as well, and that's all in great shape, free of any water spots, scratches, oxidation of any kind. Looks very nice. Now, looking just above my head here, of course, we do have this nice panoramic sunroof. I'll use this button to retract the sunshade. And as you can see, it retracts without any issues or hesitation. Very quiet, no wrinkles. And it proceeds all the way back. Now, turning this knob, I can also open up the sunroof all the way, providing a nice open air experience here. It does open up a very large gap above the driver's head. And I'll use that same dial to close it up. It's all very smooth and quiet, as you would expect. No issues with the operation there whatsoever. So next up, I'm going to make my way underneath the hood, and we can take a look at the powertrain in the A4 Allroad. So as you can see, I've popped the hood up here at the nose of the Allroad, and we can take a look at the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder motor. As you'll see, condition-wise up here under the hood, it's very, very clean. All of the plastics shining very nicely. All of the reservoirs, hoses, metal lines, and all of the metal components here on the side of the motor, all free of any corrosion or damage of any kind. It all looks very nice, and you can hear it's idling very quietly and smoothly. I'll let you listen uninterrupted. And this is a very tried and true and tested powertrain for the Volkswagen Audi group. You'll find this 2-liter turbocharged motor in many of their models across their whole line. And it's proven to be a very reliable and efficient motor, as well as being relatively easy to service. As you can see, certain things like the oil filter are just there under the cover right at the nose of the vehicle. Very, very simple and easy to take care of basic maintenance. They're very efficient, and this particular engine produces a lot of torque. I actually find it very impressive when I drive these vehicles how much torque you get down low. Right around 1500 RPM, you're going to be seeing around 258 pound-feet of torque, as well as 220 horsepower a bit higher up in the RPM range. So when paired with this nice automatic transmission fitted in the Allroad, it provides an abundance of power anywhere you find you need it in the RPM range. Very, very nice and efficient motor. Now, as you can see here in the second row of seating, you'll find the leather to be in amazing shape, very, very clean on both the seat backs and the seat bottoms. You also have a couple of adjustable climate control vents here in the center console, and these very well appointed door cards for both rear occupants. And as I make my way inside the second row, being about 6'4", sitting behind where I would comfortably drive the vehicle, I still have a couple of inches of legroom between my knees and the back of the driver's seat. Of course, most of that is due to these nice convenient cutouts that Audi has placed in the back of the seat. And I also have just enough headroom to sit up straight while being very comfortable. You get a nice view of the driver's cabin from here as well, and a nice view of that large panoramic sunroof just above my head. Lastly, we'll make our way to the cargo area here on the Allroad. Going to pop the hatch using this switch here on the driver's door. And as you can see, it opens up without any hesitation. Very, very smooth operation with that electronic tailgate. And we'll take a look at the condition in here. We do have the original carpets, which are in great condition, as well as a WeatherTech mat here in the rear to protect your trunk's carpeting. You also have this nice privacy blind, which is removable if you so choose, but you can easily extend it to this position so as to block any prying eyes from looking into your cargo through the rear windows. Also, if you'd like to just load some cargo, you can easily stow it up, and using the nice mechanism, you can drop it right back into place. There's also a nice switch here to drop the tailgate down electronically. And lastly, I'd like to look at this nice silver trim here at the entrance to the cargo area. Of course, seeing this free of any major scuffing or scratches shows that previous owners had taken good care to be careful when loading cargo into the back. You can see that tailgate closes without any problems. So if you have any further questions about this Audi A4 Allroad, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you will find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.